Place the other side seams right sides together and pin. Using a 1.5 centimetre seam allowance and a back stitch at either end, sew the side seam together. Now iron the seam allowances open so they're nice and flat. To prepare to gather, change the thread colours to a bright colour and switch the stitch length to the longer stitch number 5. Do not backstitch and use the first line as a guide. The machine seems to go fast because of the longer stitches, so slow it down and try and sew nice and straight. Changing the thread colours makes it obvious which threads are going to be the gathering threads. When you get towards the side seam, you're going to stop just before you get there so you don't overlap with the seam allowance. Do not backstitch and make sure you leave the threads nice and long so that we can use them to pull on to gather up the skirt. Repeat the row of stitching, this time using the third line as a guide. Do not backstitch again and make sure the 2 rows of stitching don't cross over each other. You should end up with 2 parallel lines of stitching. Finish the row at the side seam like you did before. These 2 rows of stitching have to be done around the entire top of the skirt, so you have to repeat the whole process on the other half of the skirt. When you finish sewing the gathering stitches in, it helps to tie a knot in the threads both on the right side of the skirt and then to tie a knot in the gathering threads that are on the wrong side of the skirt. If you do this at either end of the gathering threads, it just keeps things a little bit even and under control when you're gathering. It's important that you knot the threads that are on the top of the skirt together, separate from the threads that are on the wrong side of the skirt. So don't knot all 4 loose threads together.